It is June 21st, the first day of summer, and I'm pretty excited to be going toward the Dicey's Mill Trail and Mount Passaconaway. It's supposed to be sunny today. We're starting off with some fog and a little chilly, 55 degrees. Right now I just have that excited, frantic feeling at the beginning, like, did I remember everything? Am I going the right way? What's happening? So possibly the hardest part of this hike is that you have to go through this private property right here. But they obviously try to help because there's a sign. Even though it says private, but it also says hikers welcome. And you just go right across this driveway, I guess, to the actual trailhead. Welcome to the wilderness. I'm not very worried about the whole wilderness thing. I think mostly what that means is the trail possibly could be less maintained, like no motor vehicles and no chainsaws, I guess. Hand tools maintenance. But this is a very, very popular trail, so pretty sure it will be maintained. I'm only like 20 minutes in. It's going uphill, but what a wonderful path. Okay, the first mile in is a little easier than expected, kind of a valley feeling. Not that steep, not as many rocks as usual, and I'm just sweating anyway because of the humidity. But it's beautiful, a lot of birds. Oh, I love this sign right here. The Tom Wiggin Trail, not recommended, steep and loose. All right, not going that way. What's the other sign say? Dicey's Mill Trail, Mount Passaconaway, much better. Also the sign says WODC, Wanalancet Outdoor Club. Thank you, WODC. The trails are excellent. I did it. Dense woods here and a beautiful trail. After that log crossing, it definitely got a little bit steeper. Haven't seen any mountain yet, only trees. There are some easy parts here and there, but mostly up the stairway. And a nice breeze blowing cool air. It's like when you're really hot on a summer day and then you go in and stand right in front of the air conditioner. You get both of those feelings, like really hot and very cold. A sign. So this is a popular loop trail, and that way goes to the other summit. But I'm going to continue on Dicey's Mill Trail toward this summit, Mount Passaconaway. And maybe you can tell by my backpack that I'm also looking to camp. That Wanalancet Outdoor Club maintains a campsite up here, a tent site. Beautiful rocks, so many mosquitoes right here. But a beautiful water source there, which is critical for camping. There's many flat sites just off the trail, and I'm coming to another sound of water. This campsite is located right above the beginning of the East Summit Loop Trail. And it continues. I like this little area because of these rocks. That would be my kitchen, right? Oh, wait, no. Maybe that's not my kitchen because you can't cook next to your tent. And then I keep seeing more here and there, little clearings. How do you get to that one over there? You know, someone like me, first time doing this wilderness tent site thing, is I worry that there might be nobody here and I'll be alone in the woods at night. Will I be afraid? And the other thing is, I worry there'll be people here and they'll be loud or obnoxious or killers or something. Here's a good one. I feel like over the course of all my videos, I've made every amateur error. And today's amateur error is I just yesterday sprayed down the whole tent with Nick Wax, which is a waterproofing, because I thought it wasn't repelling water at all anymore because it's so old. Like what, 10 years or more old tent? The tent smells kind of like car wax. I brought this little bear canister. That way I don't have to worry about throwing a bag into a tree. It is a bit heavier, like 33 ounces, like 2 pounds. It seems heavy, but here it is. I got it up here, and I'm really hungry, but I don't really want to eat right here, and the summit isn't too far away, so I just opened it so I can unpack some food to bring with me, because I don't want to bring this whole thing. And then I'm just going to tuck it away in the woods nearby. And hopefully no bear will even think of looking for it, not to mention a human. Okay, now that my camp is set up, I'm going to go see the summit of Passaconaway. If I can find my way back to the trail. This is on the way to the summit. I might get some water. There are some 48-footer mountains that I have to do for the list that come across as boring. Like when I read about them, they're not the showstoppers. And then when I get there, it's so beautiful. For example, this trail, it's like Disneyland. Like someone made this up. Like the trail winds through here and then it winds down there. And there's these beautiful stairs here and the water is just going down that way. And then it will cross the trail again down there. The waterfall's right over there. And it's quite easy so far going towards the summit. Less than a half mile, I believe the map said. Up until this point, it's been these long, level switchbacks. Almost a little bit annoyingly long. But that's over now, and now we have what we've all been expecting, uphill rocks. Let's do it. This rock, is this it? Wow. At least there's some view. Let's see, make sure I get to the end of this trail. There's a little rock there. Oh, there's a longer path. Uh-oh, it goes down there. Hold on. Yeah, that goes down. You know, my dream summit includes a view, place to sit, and the ability to cook lunch. One path led to what looks like a summit campsite. Right, so that was probably it, that rock. And I had no other view this entire time. And this is not a good place to sit because there's a lot of flies. Usually summits have a breeze, and that gets rid of mosquitoes and a lot of bugs. And right now, it is dead still. No breeze. Okay, I am coming down those switchbacks from the Passaconaway summit. And I've now talked to 3 people, kind of like a consultation. And I have come up with my plan. Because I would like to go to the other summit, right over there, Whiteface. And there's a ridge trail connecting these two, which sounds marvelous. And I hear there's even a view or two along the way, and that it isn't incredibly difficult. Okay, and so the other thing is the Whiteface trail from the parking lot where I parked. Most people go, if they're doing this as a loop, most people go up that way because there's a very steep, tricky section of rocks called the ledges. And when I was planning this trip, kind of last minute, basically because I was considering so many different locations and picked this one, I became fixated on that idea of the camp, that I could carry my heavy bag up and set up camp and then go hike. So in doing so, I totally forgot about those ledges. And basically what I'm trying to say is I don't feel great about going down that loop. I went the wrong direction. And so my idea is, since my tent is over here and the ridge isn't very difficult, why don't I just do it now? Go on the ridge, go to the Whiteface summit, and come back on the ridge. That's probably the best part of the hike anyway. And then that will give me something to do. What's this? The intersection. Alright, so over here, I just wanted to have a peek. That's where there's a tent. You could see that note. It was in a plastic baggie, and it said that that gear had been discovered there by the U.S. Forest Service, and that it would be left there for 14 days, therefore giving the owner a chance to come back and get it. And after such time, it would be removed. So, yeah, you can't just leave your stuff up here all the time like your personal locker. But who knows what the story is on that tent. Mount Whiteface. It doesn't have the distance on. Didn't see anyone in the morning, and now I've seen all the people because they're all coming from the other direction. Got hard. Flat part ended uphill now. I'm really tired. But it's not much farther. I'm definitely going to make it. It's over there. This is called the bowl. I think I must be going over here somewhere. And there's a view kind of off to the left. It's just obstructed by trees most of the time. This must be the summit. I keep thinking I'm there. And then out of nowhere, a beautiful young running lady appeared, and she said in a perky manner, "Oh no, you're not there yet. We got a ways to go. And I was looking at this GPS saying I'm almost there, and well, I know, like, how will I know if I'm at the summit? Maybe she doesn't know what she's talking about. Because you know what? There was a cairn back there. Can we have a sign, an actual wooden sign? So I was just texting my husband because I might not be thinking super clearly because I'm exhausted. But he also says, yes, it looks like you have touched the summit here. Maybe people looked at their GPS and put the cairn at the highest point. Does that make sense? Sorry, but this is like real life, what it's like when you spend all day hiking and then you're just trying to make sure you reached the destination. Okay, I'm calling this the summit. This is the highest point I can reach physically. I've gone past it and around it, so I touched cairn. And oh my gosh, I promised myself I would sit down and cook that ramen to get some carbs in me. And I just don't want to do it right here in the mosquitoes. It's 3:30. Okay, so this took me an hour and a half to cross this ridge. I decided to stop here at this lookout and eat. And all I have is my ramen. So somehow I'm gonna make that probably on this rock behind me because it's windy right here. I may have forgotten my spoon back at the campsite. Unbelievable. Guess where I just found my spoon? In there with the map. That's Passaconaway, and then there's this like ridge, it goes all the way down. And I think that's the trail I came on. Stopped at another lookout. Looking back at Whiteface, I suppose. Turns out one of the other tent people is a woman like me. How exciting. And yeah, I was just meeting her and asking her what she's doing with that clipboard.
So I'm doing observations for Mountain Birdwatch, which is a program run by the Vermont Center for Eco Studies. So
Cool.
it's kind of a backpacking project because you have to be on your first plot at 4:30 in the morning.
4:30.
So my first plot is up just a little ways off the junction of the Walden Trail and the Dicey Mill East Loop.
Yeah.
So that's the first plot. I have to be on that one at 4:30 is all my observations. And then you're just supposed to do the other 5 plots.
Oh, you are very brave.
Just
Is this going to be
go to the next one, the next one, the next one, the next one.
Can I ask what your 10 birds are?
They are, see if I can remember them all. Yellow-bellied flycatcher, the 2 chickadees, boreal and blackcap, blackpoll warbler, winter wren, fox sparrow, but we won't get fox sparrow.
Oh, I've never seen that.
White-throated sparrow.
One of my favorites.
What am I missing? I wasn't keeping count, so I don't know.
Oh, no. That was pretty good. I told her my favorite birds were the thrushes. The Swainson's thrush, Bicknell's thrush, and the hermit thrush. And she said, oh, those are my other birds. Rounding out her top 10 of what she's supposed to study. Right at this intersection, and right where that water is, it's to the left. Wait, I'm gonna go back to that clearing and then go uphill a little bit. It's amazing how it can be right here, yet you can't see it. Must be right up here. So it's on the east loop going toward the zigzags. Short ways up this little hill. Yeah, there it is, There's the normal trail. And you just see the little side trail. It's over there. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna go get my bear again. Let's get out the treat. When placing my bear box for the night, I asked myself, if a bear was going to walk through the camp and look at my bear box, where would I want that to happen? Right next to my tent? No. Bug. Okay. As I was saying, I would want it far from my tent. But this has like freeze-dried blueberries in it, and it's pretty good. This is my favorite meal so far. If I had fire starting stuff, I would make a little fire. The only hassle is you have to then go get extra water to make sure you put the fire out totally at the end. But it would be nice right now because it would kind of add to the ambiance and scare away some of these morning mosquitoes. All right, I'm packed up, I'm cleaned up, and I'm going. It is 51 degrees this morning. Got into the 40s last night. I was comfortable in my new sleeping bag to summer bag for me. It was silent. It was utterly silent. back down the way I came up. Dicey's Mill Trail. This was the first time I've ever camped for free. This is probably the quietest trip I've ever been on. No road noise of any kind. So quiet. Last night, like there was no wind. No doubt the best way to do this, if you were trying to do the 4,000 footers, is as a day hike with a light pack going clockwise, so that you did the blueberry ledges first, go to Mount Whiteface, go across the Rollins Trail, and then pop up to Passaconaway summit before doing this lovely descent down the Dicey Mill Trail. However, I totally do not regret how it ended up working out for me, because I got to do my backpacking experience. So I guess I just didn't get to see those ledges, but I'd rather see them coming up someday, not going down with a full pack. Oh, look where I've come to. The log I felt like so terrifying yesterday. I'm kind of looking forward to it today. And I'm out of the wilderness. That was a good trip. The lowlights and highlights, they were mild. The lowlights were the summits of the mountains were not the kind that have big rocky outcroppings, a place to sit, and a sign with a big view. They just weren't that kind of summits. And there were mosquitoes. And although I had access to water, I did not do that great a job of washing myself before sleeping, so I still woke up in the night kind of sticky. I can do better at that. The highlights were the amazing views along those outcroppings on the Rollins Trail. Little windows into marvelous views. And I'm proud of myself for going backpacking by myself in the wilderness, relying on myself, making good food, and overall having a good experience. And of course, lastly, I have to mention that I am happy that I got to 2 more summits on the 4,000 footer list. And that brings me to about halfway. So I'm pretty happy and confident that maybe I can get to all of them. And even if I don't, each of these trips in itself is a fun experience.